Hi, this video shows how to use Python to test out API calls for the GBG identity solution. With the information here, you'll be able to send address and document details, including document scans, and retrieve verification results. The information here allows you to type one-line commands to execute entire API calls and see the results in a friendly JSON text format. You can use it to test out parameters or even for rapid prototyping new solutions using the API. It is convenient because there's no need to copy-paste tokens or credentials. All of the account-specific details are in a configuration file that the Python code reads. The tests are easy to manage too, since each scenario can be contained in a shell script or batch file that can be placed in version control or zipped up and emailed for others to try too. There are three prerequisites. Firstly, Python 3.x needs to be installed. You can use apt-get or yum on Linux, or use a Microsoft Windows Store to download and install Python. Next, an OAuth 2.0 account is needed. Follow the instructions on Amazon Web Services or Azure or any other cloud provider to set that up. You'll end up with a special URL that describes your OAuth 2.0 OpenID Connect account configuration. OAuth 2.0 allows a user to authenticate with their cloud provider and for the GBG identity solution to accept that authentication to provide access to the GBG service. Thirdly, go to the GBG developers site and there is information there about how to register with GBG for an account. The main thing you'll need to provide is that OAuth 2.0 URL. To recap on the prerequisites, install Python first. With Windows, use a Microsoft Store instead of the official Python website because some environment variables get set up automatically with the Microsoft Store method. Next, create the OAuth 2.0 account following the cloud provider's online instructions. I used Microsoft Azure here as an example. This is the Azure portal. OAuth 2.0 supports multiple authentication methods, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. The downloadable Python scripts work with a method called client credentials grant, although they could be modified to support any other method too. If you're using Azure, then the Microsoft website describes how client credentials grant works and what needs to be configured in Azure. A client secret is needed and API permissions added. This is all standard OAuth 2.0 stuff, and AWS will also have similar procedures as do the other cloud providers. Finally, provide the OAuth 2.0 OpenID Connect URL to GBG to create the account. All of this is described on the GBG developer website. You're now ready to download the Python code, configure it and run it. The code bundle that's about to be described contains several different file types. There are many .py files, each one contains a code to make a single API request. There are two config text files. The first one contains the OAuth 2.0 details, and the second contains your GBG journey ID that gets provided when you create an account. The ID describes what databases get accessed and the level of verification needed. Place any document photos for verification in the images folder and type the names of those files into that config file too. To install the code bundle, go to your shell, such as Windows PowerShell, and type pip install requests, and then create a folder and use the git clone command to download it all. Here's the content of the configuration files. The fields are described at the code location, but it's mostly self-explanatory. The auth.txt fields come from the portal of the cloud provider you're using. The config.txt file contains the journey ID and the image file names, and the rest of the fields can remain unchanged. Contact GBG if you need any help. Now you're free to authenticate using the Python getToken.py command. The actual HTTP content being sent can be examined within the Python code file if you like, and it is documented at the developer's website too. Once the authentication has occurred, the token is automatically stored in a temporary.pkl file. Now an API call can be made. Edit the Python file or make a copy and rename it, and you can type in the search terms such as the name and address in there. Run it by typing Python followed by the file name, and the output is displayed on the screen. If you wish to combine API calls, examine the batch files. In this example, a text-based verification is followed by a document image verification. Feel free to explore the other Python files, and if you create your own or any example applications, please do share them if you wish. Thanks for watching.